अमृत सागर मध्य हो हमसा, उलटी रखू प्रभु प्यारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। कस्तूरी है आप नाभि में, कस्तूरी है आप नाभि में, हाथ खोज मृगहारा, बाला बालक गोद लिए हैं, डूबती नगर मझारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। सतगुरु कोई भेद न पावे, बिन सतगुरु कोई भेद न पावे, वेद की बया कह सदा फल अनुभव करते, आनंद आनंद पारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। विहंगम योगिनी को, विहंगम योगिनी को, प्रभु देख दिव्य नेत्रों, विहंगम योगिनी को, अनुभव में ज्ञान दर्शे, अनुभव में ज्ञान दर्शे, आनंद ज्ञान परसे, विहंगम योगिनी को, विहंगम योगिनी को। चालता ही मैं सीध लाभ जाही, अनूप चालता ही मैं सीध लाभ जाही, ये अमूल्य तत्व ज्ञाना, ये अमूल्य तत्व ज्ञाना, कोई शांत भेद जाना, है विहंगम योग मित्रों, है विहंगम योग मित्रों। नहीं चाकों की कहानी, मुद्रा न पंचमानी। नहीं चाकों की कहानी, मुद्रा न पंचमानी। नहीं ओ हम सो हम ज्ञाना, नहीं ओ हम सो हम ज्ञाना। नहीं निराकार माना, है विहंगम योग मित्रों, है विहंगम योग मित्रों। हाथ तात पारा, छर ज्योति हूँ से न्यारा। अनहाथ तात पारा, छर ज्योति हूँ से न्यारा। सुषमन है जहाँ रानी, सुषमन है जहाँ रानी। नहीं गला पिंगला पानी, है विहंगम योग मित्रों, है विहंगम योग मित्रों।
Jai Shri Gurudev, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the weekly Sunday workshop organized by North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga. My name is Sudhanshu and I will be the host for today. We all are joining these Saturday and Sunday Vihangam Yoga Satsang on this bridge line, and we are utilizing the time when we are spending most of our days inside our home. We are trying to utilize, we are trying to explore ourselves, and this session, all these sessions, what we are joining from past so many weeks, are helping us to explore ourselves more, to proceed ahead in our spiritual upliftment. As Swamiji has mentioned, that satsang plays a key role for our spiritual upliftment and to proceed ahead in spiritual journey. Even in Ramcharitmanas, there are so many couplets which talks about the glory of satsang. If we just see one of them, it is written as Satsangat Mud Mangal Mula Soy Phal Siddhi Sab Sadhan Phula. So here as well, it is mentioned that the satsang is the core of all good things what we do in our life. We are very fortunate that we join back again in this bridge line to one of such great satsang. In today's session, we have invited Sri Amit Shivaji More as our chief guest, as our prime speaker. He is one of the most devoted disciple of Sadgurudev who spent most of his time in Sadguru Seva and in Vishwa Prashar. And we are very fortunate to hear his experience, how he see Vihangam Yoga, and once he will share his experience, we are also very fortunate to ask few questions and get the answer of those questions which will help us to proceed ahead. So first as usual, before we go for the question answer or his discourse, we will start the session by inviting Lord Sadgurudev with the humble prayer, the Swagat Gan. So to invite Sadgurudev with the humble prayer, the Swagat Gan, I would like to invite Prachi Talekarji. Please come forward and start the session with Swagat Gan. Over to you, Prachi ji.
जी जय सद्गुरुदेव सभी को। मेरा आवाज आ रहा है ना?
जी जी आ रही
हाँ, या जय सद्गुरुदेव। स्वागत गान। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर, संत शुभागम आइए। अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति, सोमरस बरसाइए। दोष दूर गुण दूर करिके, शुद्ध हंस बनाइए। वेद गम गति ज्ञान गर्जन, शक्ति द्वार हटाइए। खुले द्वारा शब्द सागर, भक्त जन अनवाइए। जन सदा फल विश्व शिक्षक, शान आन बचाइए। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर, संत शुभागम आइए। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव भगवान जी की जय। ओवर टू यू।
Thanks a lot, Prachi Talekarji, for beautiful presentation of Swagat Gan and starting the session by inviting Lord Sadgurudev. Thank you very much for that. Our next prayer to His Holiness is Mangal Gan. Let us immerse ourselves in his thought and pray to him to eradicate all differences and ills among various classes and communities and have universal peace. Let this earth be a heavenly place with plentiful bliss, prosperity, and peace. I would like to invite Yogita Apte ji to recite this beautiful composition. Over to you, Yogita ji.
थैंक यू सुधांशु जी। जय सद्गुरुदेव सभी को। मंगल गान। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल, परम गुरु को ध्याइए। वर्ग द्वंद्व शांति दूर कर, भाव भेद मिटाइए। सार्वभौम समष्टि सत्ता, ध्यात्म राज्य बनाइए। भेष भाषा भाव जगमय, ज्ञान पर दरसाइए। समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल, स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए। विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीति स्वर अपनाइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल, परम गुरु को ध्याइए। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय। बैक टू यू सुधांशु जी।
Thanks a lot, Yogita ji, for very beautifully putting forward the soulful words of Mangalagan. Now we reach to the next phase of today's session, where we are very fortunate today that we will hear the experience of such a Sevajit Shishya of Sadgurudev, who spent his entire life in service of Master, Sri Amit Sivaji More, who joined our today's session from South Africa. He is one of the disciple who is serving Sadgurudev, and helping in Vishwa Prachar, and he did Prachar in so many countries, and right now he's in South Africa and he's doing the Prachar and Seva of Swamiji from there. So we are very fortunate that we have Sri Amit Sivaji More today, and he joined us from South Africa. So before we proceed for the discourse of our chief guest, I would like to invite President of North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga, Sri Vijay Kumar Ji, and I would like to request him to welcome our chief guest in our today's session. Over to you, Vijay Ji.
Jai Sadgurudev, everybody. When Sadguru Sadafal Deji Maharaj had decided to discard his mortal frame, it's very amazing to know the fact that he wrote letters to his disciples and gave a hint about it. He asked disciples to come and meet at so and so place on so and so time. Related to that, there was a subtle hint to the grandfather of Amit More Ji by Sadguru Sadafal Deji Maharaj to come and meet and at so and so place. And his grandfather, who joined Vihangam Yoga right around those time when Sadguru Sadafal Deji Maharaj was about to discard his body. So his grandfather says in his words that the most regretful moment of his life was that he did not pay the visit to Sadguru Sadafal Deji Maharaj, even though he had a hint that there is some special day coming. So my friends, Amit More Ji comes from a family of yogis who have been associated with the saints and yogis and Sadguru right from the time of Sadguru Sadafal Deji Maharaj. What words will be insufficient to describe what Amit More Ji is up to? Is he an engineer? Yes. Is he a nationalist? Yes. Is he a social worker? Yes. Is he a leader? Yes. What he is not, he has always been a great innovator of bringing new things in Vihangam Yoga Prachar, motivating youths how to get involved into the social service, the pious work of Vihangam Yoga. So we are very privileged today to get inspired by the inspiring words coming from none other than our dear Amit More Ji, who has been very great pioneer in spreading Vihangam Yoga in South Africa. He is a permanent resident now in South Africa. He has also founded Indian Association in South Africa. He is leading that organization, helping Indian people settle in South Africa. What not he is. So let's, without delay, hear directly from our dear Amit More Ji. Over to you, Amit Ji.
जय सद्गुरुदेव। ॐ त्वादूतमग्ने अमृतं युगे युगे अव्यवाहं ददिरे पायुमिड्यं देवासस्य मर्तासस्य जाग्रविं विभुं विश्वपतिं नमसा निशिदिरे। ॐ या त्रिशप्ताः पर्यन्ति विश्वारूपाणि विव्रत वाचस्पतिर्वला तेषां तन्नो अद्य दधातु मे। Namaste, Jai Sadgurudev to all the dear souls, those who are listening to the satsang. And a special thank to Niranjan ji and Vijay Kumar ji for giving me this opportunity. I just want to know, if my voice is clear to all of you. If someone can confirm, I will really appreciate.
Ji, your voice is very clear.
Thank you, Sudhanshu ji, the host of today's satsang. And I was very happy to see a lot of Marathi people are also there. Those who were chanting, today's Mangal Gan and Swagat Gan. So yes, as Vijay ji introduced me, I'm surely not that big. It is actually Sadguru Dev who has chosen the souls, and I always believe that it is his, decision that whom to pick. We are nothing. We are just like a straw in our life. If you see a straw's application, straw doesn't know, what to do. It's the owner of the straw which decides, when to pick the straw, when to drink, what you want to drink from that straw. So I feel as a disciple we are like that. And also maybe we have some value, but our value is like zero. I always say in every satsang. And Sadguru is the one who will put the figures before that. So until and unless he puts any figure before that, we don't have any value. And one thing I really want to say about Vijayji, he has been giving satsangs in India in this time of pandemic, and he has been one of the very popular speaker. And one thing what we learn from Vijayji is also the humbleness. And you will see as the Vihangam yogis, they increase the sadhana or they understand the Swamiji, the humbleness increases in them, and they live with examples. So that is one of the beauty I have seen in many Vihangam yogis throughout the world. And obviously, as Sant Pravar Vigyan Devji Maharaj says, humbleness is not a weakness. He has given a very beautiful discourse. And you will see the Vihangam yogis are also very strong. And when the time comes, they stand for that situation very firmly. And that is one of the biggest importance of Vihangam yoga I have seen in my life. In some of my discourses, I won't say like discourse, I just like to, I speak about Vihangam yoga. I feel I'm a very simple person, because generally the discourse is given by, or Amritvani is given by His Holiness Sadafal Devji Maharaj, sorry, Swatantra Devji Maharaj, and then also Sadguru Pad Uttarikari Sri Vigyan Devji Maharaj, or our international, head Sant Sri Namdevji Maharaj. So these are the great souls, and then people like, Vijay ji and all, they speak very fantastic. So I just try to explain, about Vihangam yoga or whatever I know. But surely Vihangam yoga impacts your life, and I have seen many of the incidents in my life also where your life change. And as I was explaining, a Vihangam yogi becomes very strong to take his decisions. And I will like to share some of that experience I have gone through. And means there are a lot of incidents actually. Means I was very young when I started actually in the seva of Sadguru. But before that also, I was very fortunate that I did seva of Sri Vishwanath Patil ji, who was a very, what is we can call as like a closest to Sadguru Dev, and he was one of the best disciple of Sadguru Dev we can see. And I learned a lot of things from him. He was also very humble, and he used to continuously travel, meet the people, and and his behavior was one of the best or successful thing in the prachar what I have seen. His behavior was very decent, as a saint we can say, and that used to impact on many people's life. So I just try to become like him, but I think it is very difficult. I don't think in this life we can do that. No one can be like Patil ji. He was the only one, and I don't think anyone will be like him again. But being with him, I actually learn lot of things and lot of teachings he gave me about the Vihangam Yoga, Brahma Vidya, and also a lot of things he taught. He shared a lot of experience also. And we try to always give this knowledge to all the people. We don't discriminate. And in that way, Patilji also, when he used to be in the prachar, he used to never discriminate with anyone. And with his simplicity, he used to try to teach this knowledge. So I like to first share one of his experience, which very few people knew about. That one time he was traveling to one of the village where he had his like satsang program, and while going to the village, there was one dam. And near that dam, he saw there was a hut and there was one sadhu there who was actually, doing a meditation and all that. And Patilji was very happy to see him. So he stopped his car there and he actually went to the hut, his hut, and then he started discussions. He was very excited that some man who is having appearance like a sadhu and he has left maybe his family, everything, and maybe he's trying to achieve a God realization. So Patilji started giving him satsang discussions and all that. But obviously, he was running late for his program in the next village. So he said, while coming back, I will spend more time with you. And then after that, I will also teach you this divine knowledge of Vyangam Yoga or Brahma Vidya. So the sadhu smiled very cunningly. He didn't realize that time why he was smiling like that. And then he went for his program. He stayed there, and next day, while coming back, again he stopped at the dam where that sadhu was. And then the sadhu said, okay, you want to teach me this divine knowledge? That's fine. Let's go to my cave and then we will learn this knowledge there. So the amazing part was there was a cave below his hut. And when they went into that, it was a bit scary because there were, the skeletons lying there and the human skeletons. And it looked very, very scary. So Patilji realized that this man is not someone normal. He is like a Aghori type of sadhu. And then he gave a mat to sit for Patilji, and he also sat in front of that. And then he said, "Okay, you can start telling me or teaching me about Brahma Vidya or Vihangam Yoga you talking about." And then Patilji sat in a yogic posture and he realized something is not right. And before he started giving him satsang, this Agori Sadhu started actually chanting some vicious mantras. And he was started getting a bit angry, or you can see by his appearance or his posture that he was very uncomfortable. So Patilji actually took a swarved in his hand, which he thought he will give to this sadhu before. And then he started praying to Swamiji. And he sat very calm and quiet there because he had nothing in his hand. He came there for something good. But this Agori sadhu kept chanting continuously for a long time. And after some time, the blood started coming from the eyes of that sadhu, that Agori sadhu. And then he actually fallen to the feet of Patilji, and he said he apologized and he said, I'm really sorry. Actually, I tried to do something bad with you, although you came with a good intentions, but there is a big energy with you which is protecting you. In fact, I myself started getting damaged because of that. So Patilji actually said nothing, and he said, look, I came with something very big, but you don't deserve this. You need a lot of change in your life, and he just walk away from that. So this kind of things, Patilji, while doing prachar, it is not easy. You meet so many of people with good intentions, with bad intentions, and still, you need to be one of the best while you're going through such kind of crazy situations. Because generally, in normal our life, we don't go through such situations. But like that, he has gone through very, very difficult situations, and every time he became stronger and stronger because Sadguru Dev is always there to protect, to us, and that's what he used to tell me. And the very important thing what he told me, that if you see the insects, the animals, the ants around us, they don't go to school, they don't do any job, but still God is feeding them. they're getting their meals. So is that thing important in our life? Just think about that. And he always used to say that that is not our sole aim or intentions. He used to say that, you know, our sole intention or sole aim is to pray to Sadguru and to have a God realization. So, like that, he had many, many incidents, many things. And growing with him, from my childhood, I used to very fascinated that he used to wear the white clothes and he used to go for prachar. So, I used to also feel like, one day when I grow up, I will also wear white clothes like him and I will go to the prachar. And then fortunately, I, was also able to do seva of the Vartaman Sadguru Sri Swatantra Devji Maharaj. At that time, I was very young actually, and I was not much mature, but I was very fortunate that he allowed me to be in his seva. And it was one of the very important time of my life where my life entirely changed. As you go in Sadguru Seva, Sadguru takes lot of your exams. It's not very easy actually. It's one of the toughest thing to do a Sadguru Seva, but also it's very important. It changes your life. So whatever I am today, and wherever I am, is all because of the Seva what I have done of Sadguru or whatever he has taught me. I don't know if I can learn, but whatever Sadguru gives, that changes your life. That's what I feel. And staying with him, I had a lot of experiences. And there are like bigger experience also, small experience also. But one very funny incident I want to share with you. I was actually at Dandakwan Ashram where Vartaman Swamiji was doing Kriya, and I was in his seva. Obviously I used to sit around and provide whatever he asked for. And you know what Swami did with me that day was, he said that, look, I'm doing this Kriya, and we were sitting below the mango trees. And Swamiji said that, look, there is a mango going to fall down now. So then it came in my mind why Swamiji is telling me. So I just thought, maybe he told me because he's doing Kriya, and then if it is falling down, I must stop that mango. I must catch that it was falling down. And then I was very alert and I was watching what Swamiji was doing, and I was watching the mango tree above. And then actually Swamiji went to into Sarvangasan. His head was down and legs were up in the sky. And I was now standing actually because, I didn't know what he will do and how the mango will come from. So at that time, suddenly a mango fell from the tree and it came towards Swamiji's leg, and Swamiji's legs were up in the air, and from that actually position, actually he kicked that mango, and after that, when he came down in position, he started looking at me, and then I realized, Sadguru, he knows what is happening far, ahead in the life and many lives of us, and what is going to be next, and who are we to protect him, and then I realized, I started afterwards thinking about it that I was like very immature, that if he tells me that the mango is going to fall down, he knows how to stop that also. So that is a Sadguru, and he knows how to stop. So what I thought today is, I want to have some discussions about the disease, the karma, and the soul, and Vihangam Yoga, and the correlation of all these things. Because we are going through the time of pandemic, and it is a very critical disease going around the world. So we need to understand those who are new to the Vihangam Yoga. I'm not sure, like if there are some people, those who maybe are new to Vihangam Yoga, also listening this satsang. And obviously, there are many disciples, those who are very old. So I just thought that we'll have some discussion about this law of karma regarding this pandemic going on. So a lot of people, they have question like how we get disease, or how the good people are suffering around while the bad people are enjoying, and then also why does God give us pain? A lot of people think that also. Then we also think about why some children are born blind or with defects. So this is not new, but from thousands of years, there has been many discussion happening around this topic. And regarding like this pandemic, there was also one symposium, and the topic was man and disease. This is thousands of years before, and lot of great rishis, saints, many great people, they came to that symposium, and then they started having discussions. So in that there was a king Vamaka of Kashi, and what he believed is, he said, what is the source of man and disease? And he wanted to know, like, do they both come from the same source? So the king Vamaka of Kashi, he was one of the hosts for that symposium, and it was his question that whether the man and disease both come from the same source. And there was very interesting discussion after that. So there was a Parikshi Rishi Mudgalaya, Parikshi Mudgalaya, who was there, and he said that was his opinion was, man is born from the spirit. Likewise, all the diseases are born from the spirit. The spirit is the source of all. So that's his opinion. He kept in that. Then there was a sage Saraloma. He kept his opinion. He said that no, the spirit dislikes pain. It would never, on its own accord, yoke itself to painful diseases. So the real cause is the mind. So his behavior, his reply was, the real cause is mind. That's what he thought. Then there was another Rishi, Varovaidya. He had a different opinion. He said, mind by itself can't cause anything. Without body, there cannot be any disease, not even the mind. All life started from water, and water is the cause of all the diseases. So this discussion was getting interested, and a lot of people were keeping their opinions. And then Hiranyaksha Rishi, he came and he said, everything does not depend on water. I am aware of airborne diseases. Man is result of the five physical elements and consciousness. So when he said that, then there was a Rishi Bharadwaj. He said, I disagree. Means he didn't agree with that. And he said the active person always proceeds the deed. Nature alone is the cause. Roughness of the earth, fluidity of the water, mobility of the air, and heat of the fire. So he was saying that the nature is a cause of the disease. But then there was also Punarvasu Rishi in that symposium, and then he said that truth is hard to be found by taking sides in a debate. So that's what he was saying. And then he said the wholesome combination of the physical elements gives rise to the well-being of man. Unwholesome combination leads to disease. So what he tried to say is the balance elements, means which is at ease with each other, and unbalanced elements which is not easy with each other is a disease. So now it is also known as the Ayurveda that all of us we are aware of. Then there was a Kanakyana Rishi in that discussion. He said his opinion was effort of lack of effort is not determined by the course of nature. He says that Brahma, the creator of the universe, is the source of all. So his opinion was Brahma is the source of everything. But then there was also Atreya Rishi who said that no, Brahma cannot give pain to his own children. Evolution has taken place over the time. So time is the cause of creation of man and disease. So this discussion was heating up now. And then there was the Rishi Shonaka who said that how can you have the five elements and the consciousness without a creator or a father and mother? Therefore, the parents are the origin of both the individuals and the disease. And then there was a Bhadrapakya Rishi who actually disagreed to that. And then he said very simply that no, blind are not born of the blind. And you cannot tell who is the first parents were. Creatures are born of the merits of action, and from the actions arise the disease. So that's how actually it came to the conclusion that the actions are very important. So I just thought when we are having a discussion or a satsang today, we will have some discussions about the karma. And then obviously, a lot of people have mystic questions that is reincarnation truth? And then also, can we get liberation in this life? Or who can help us to understand the law of karma? So we have a lot of questions when we go through the satsang. And Swamiji has very beautifully explained everything in Swarved. I know you guys are regularly having satsangs, but this topic on the karma, I just want to focus on some small parts of that, where Swamiji has explained in Swarveda that जो कुछ करता करत है कर्म जान सब सोए प्राकृत करणों से करे कर्म रूप है सोए. So, karma means action or deed or work, and Sadhguru says that any actions performed by the soul in this physical world using inert mediums is called as karma. Various organs like sensory as well as those to perform actions, including the four inner elements mind, intellect, chitta or memories, and ego, perform karma. When the conscious energy of a soul works in this material world through the organs, it is called as a karma. Now, if we see the Bhagavad Gita, it is said by Lord Krishna that he is explaining the law of karma. He says that karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So he's saying you only have a right to perform karma, but you don't have a right to obtain the fruit. Like you can kill someone, but what happens next to that is not in your hand. But now that's what one thing I feel is different. When you go detailed into the Vihangam Yoga or Brahma Vidya, which even Lord Krishna is also explained to Arjuna in the war of Mahabharata. So we will see more details about it and the role of Sadguru, how he helps us about this fruit of karma or how we can destroy the karma. So Sadguru has said that there are how the karmas are performed in Sarved. And he says that चेष्टा आत्म की चले बहती प्रकृति आधार कायिक वाचिक मानसिक कर्म है तीन प्रकार. So Swamiji says that we perform our karmas. The first type is through the thoughts. Now, whatever we think is also a karma. So as a Vihangam yogi, it is always very important that we always think good. Swamiji, whenever I was in Seva also, he will always say that always see good, think good, or do good. So this is very, very important because this changes our life. We have a lot of people, those who think something different in their head, and then when they actually talk to us, they talk something different. And that's what the problem is, because they don't understand that whatever they have thought is also actually converted into the karma. And that is very, very dangerous. So always when you are alone or when you are with someone or someone is trying to hurt you or someone is speaking bad to you, don't get affected. Try to be calm and always think very positive and good about it. Then second, karma is through our words. It is very important that what we talk in our life is very, very important. People just think like they can talk whatever they want and get away from that very easily. And in fact, it's very, very what we can say, getting worst into the relationships. Like if we see where we are working in our office, there is a lot of backstabbing happening with the employees each other. Then there are issues in the family with mother-in-law to the daughter-in-law, and or brother to brother, means in relationship or even with the friends. And the biggest issue is those who are very close to us, they always give us pain because that is our surrounding. We are always with that people. And what happens is when the things don't get right, because nothing is perfect in the world, and when the things doesn't get right, people also start thinking bad and always they also speak bad. So and that's how your karmas are also actually started getting bad, and also you get a bad fruit for that. So we have to be very balanced, especially being in Vihangam Yoga. We have to also watch our words, what we say, and that will change a lot. Then the third type, what Swamiji has explained, is through our actions that we perform. Means certain times what happens is we perform the action directly ourselves, but also sometimes we actually tell other people to perform some actions on our behalf. So that kind of karma also actually gets actually noted on our name, not that person. Maybe he will also get some fruit of that, but the main person behind that, if we are telling to someone to do something wrong, we will get actually the fruit of that karma. So Swamiji is then explaining the types of karma. सृष्टि में देख विचित्रता कर्म है कारण सोए संचित अरुक्रियमान है प्रारब्ध क्रिया होए. So Swamiji says that there are three types of karma. First is sanchit, then is prarabdha, and then we have a kriyaman karma. So sanchit, we all of us know that it's a storage of karmas of many lives. It's a accumulated karma. So it will be impossible to experience and endure all the karmas in one lifetime. From this stock of sanchit karma, a handful is taken out to serve one lifetime. And this handful of actions, which have begun to bear the fruit, with which will be exhausted only on the fruit being enjoyed, not otherwise. This is generally is known as the prarabdha. But now a lot of people here again ask us question. When we go out and when we discuss, like where it gets stuck is a lot of people don't believe in reincarnation, and that's how it is very difficult to people to explain those who don't understand the reincarnation. The reincarnation actually is referred to as the transmigration of soul or rebirth. 20% of the world, the religions population is either Hindu, Buddhist, or those who are coming from the Hinduism, and both the religion believes reincarnation. But further, according to the recent, if you see the Fox News poll or the Americans, they have started believing in that. And then in the time of span, now a lot of people in Europe and other countries also are accepting it, and the percentage has been increasing. But I want to give you some examples today when we are discussing. If you see the great people, those who came in this world, and what do they think about the reincarnation? So if we think about Napoleon, Napoleon was one of the great warrior, and he said that he believed in the law of reincarnation, and even told them his people he believed to have been in his previous life means. So he actually used to talk to his people that he believed that he has a previous life. And then Leo Tolstoy, he says that as we live through thousands of dreams in our present life, so is our present life only one of many thousands of such lives which we enter from the other more real life and then return after death. Our life is but one of the dreams of the more real life, and so it is endlessly until it is very last one, the very real, the life of God. So, like this, there are many people, many examples. Even Jesus Christ, in one of the Gospels, he says that souls are poured from one into another of different kind of bodies of the world. And then, if you see into the Quran also, it is said that God generates being and sends them back over and over again till they return to Him. So, means in the religions and those who are philosophers or those who are not from one religion, so a lot of people have kept this concept. And if you go to the library now in whichever city you are, there are the government libraries, and if you go and to the library and go to the certain section, you will see that there is one full section for the reincarnation. The books are filled with that. The people, maybe those who have not seen India or those who don't know India, they are writing about their experiences and the real stories. So sometimes it can be debatable because a lot of people are asking for proofs and all that. But if you do sadhana, if you do Vihangam yoga practice, you will actually experience all these things. And that's how it is very important to understand the concept of reincarnation. And even Swamiji says that in Swarveda, that Amit काल से भूलिया पहुंचो अपने देश देव सदा फल क्या कहे परमानंद संदेश. So we have been lost from the Amit Kal, the infinite time the soul has been traveling here, and he's telling us that that's a message he is giving us. We want to go back to our own land where we came from. So, but for that, we need to understand all this concept of this law of karma and Vihangam Yoga. So, going ahead, we will also understand what is the Prarabdha karma, what Swamiji has explained into the Vihangam Yoga, because it has been said that Pahle bana Prarabdha, Pache bana Sharir. So, the Prarabdha is first, and then we get the body. Now, Prarabdha is the fruit bearing karma, is the portion of accumulated karma that has been written and appears as a particular problem in the present life. So, the Prarabdha fruit, everyone has to bear it, that, or everyone has to, we call it bhog. We have to go through it. And in Kabir Saki, Kabir Sahib also says that सात दीप नौ खंड में तीन लोक ब्रह्मांड कहा कबीर सबको लगे देह धरे का दंड. So Kabir Sahib says very beautifully that everyone who is born in 7 islands, 9 continents, 3 lokas, or even in the entire universe has to face the fruit of karma. No one can rescue from prarabdha or the prarabdha bhog till he faces it completely. So this prarabdha, everyone has to suffer. We all are born in this world and we all are going through that. But it doesn't mean we have to get disturbed. We have to be strong. Because if you think about Rama and what happened into that, Vishwamitra, Vashishta Rishi was so great at that time. And in Shabdavali it is said that Muni Vashishta so Pandit Gyani, Shodhi ke Lagan Dhari, Sita Haran Maran Dasharath ko, Vipati me Vipat Pari. So Vashishta Muni was a great Pandit and a great Rishi that time. And he organized best marriage time for Rama and Sita. But still Ravana, we know, kidnapped Sita and Dashratha died in a strange way. So we know the curse behind that and all, but that was also a suffering. So everyone has to suffer. There are many examples, many stories of that. And I want to tell you one of the story of Sring Rishi at the time of Ramayana, when Rama was traveling to the various ashrams and in the forest, in his 14 years time. So one day he actually reached to the Shring Rishi's ashram. Now we're not talking about a Shringi Rishi. This is a different Rishi, and he had a skin disease. So when the Rishi came to know that Rama is coming to his ashram, what he did is he actually changed his body from the skin disease to a normal, and then actually he kept his old body into one of the separate location in the ashram in one side, and then actually means he took the another form of body, and it was like looking very nice and beautiful, because he felt that it's not good to go to see Rama with that kind of diseased body. So when Rama came to his ashram and when he met the rishi and they had all the discussions, after that he said that he want to see the ashram. So they walked around, and then Rama asked, "What's in that hut in that corner?" So initially Rishi resisted; he don't want to take him there. But at then when he took there, he saw when he took him there. Then actually Rama saw the body of the Rishi, which was with the disease, his old or previous body, which was kept there. Then Rama told the Rishi that now your time is finished, and you must now stay into the body where you are, which body you are, and forget about the old body. So when the great souls come in our life, actually that's how also our prarabdha can change. But now this is very complicated to understand, and that's how the great souls or Sadguru plays very very important role in our life. But also meanwhile, we don't have to stress for the small things or small problems or prarabdha in our life. And that's how in Kabir Saki, Kabir Sahib says that देह दरे का दंड है सब काहुन का होए ज्ञानी भुगते ज्ञान कर अज्ञानी भुगते रोए. So everyone has to face the fruit of prarabdha. Knowledgeable person faces it happily, and the ignorant faces by it crying. So now it's our choice that we know that we are going to suffer. So whether we are going to face it happily or we have to cry. And that's how being in Vihangam yoga and all, the people you will see, they get very strong, and you will see them taking some actions against the situation. They don't keep crying. So that is one of the beauty I have felt in my life, or that is been like affecting my life, and the success whatever I am getting while working for the Indian Association, or for the different social projects and different things, or in my office. There are a lot of issues, but now once you understand that, it helps you a lot, that I can tell you. Now we need to also know about our kriyaman karma, which is very very important. And everything that we produce in the current life is called as a kriyaman karma. So kriyaman karmas flow into sanchit karma and consequently shape our future. Only in human life we can change our future destiny. After death, we lose Kriya Shakti, ability to act and do Kriyaman Karma. So until we are born again in another human body. So that's how it's very, very important. This Kriyaman Karma plays a big role in our life. And if we do a good karmas, your life can be changed. So if you see, there was an example which actually, Patilji also used to tell me how to change your life with your behavior. And it's very important to understand. So he used to tell a story of a rishi and a thief, that once upon a time in a forest there was one thief and there was a rishi. They used to stay very close to each other. The rishi was very poor, and his life was full of suffering, but he used to always pray to the god, and he was trying to live his best life still. And on the other side, the thief who was in the forest, he was enjoying his life, and he used to do a lot of wrong things. He used to steal, and uh, sometimes he used to kill the people. So all the things what he was doing was bad in his life, but he was having a very good life. So one day, on the night of Diwali, actually there was a group of saints which was passing from that forest, and they decided to stay there. And what happened that night was very mysterious. That the rishi, who was actually already suffering, that night actually a big thorn went to his leg, and there was a lot of bleeding from his leg. And he tried to take it out, and he fall down, and then he got again hurt, and actually it was a chaos. And then he was lying down in his hut, uh, and he was not able to even have his food. And at the same time, these people, the group of the saints, those who were there, they saw what was happening with the thief. The thief had a big robbery, and he came with lot of gold, and he got lot of food and sweets and all for his family there. And they were enjoying the Diwali. Now the disciples, those who were with the saints there, had a very big question, that why this rishi is suffering and the thief who is there is actually enjoying. Why is this happening? So then the saint, those who were there, they were learned people. So one of the biggest saint, he actually closed his eyes, and then he saw what was wrong there. And then he explained to the disciples there and to the other saints that the previous life, what has happened is, the rishi was actually a thief in his previous life, and he did all the bad activities his entire life. And in this life, when he got you know he got the birth, and this life he chose actually to be a good man, and he did all the good karmas in his entire life. So he never went on a bad path, but due to his previous karma he suffered a lot. But at the same time, whatever karmas he did in the past life, today he was going to be hanged. Today was his day of death, but he did a good karmas. That's how actually all the kriyaman karmas were good from his childhood. So instead of getting death, the thorn went in his leg, he fell down, and he had some small injuries. But his life is saved because whatever he did was good in his entire life. And the other hand, if you see, uh, the thief, He was a king in his previous life, and he also did a lot of wrong things. So this life, he was born as an ordinary person, but then he chose a wrong path from his childhood, and he never forced himself when he was adult also to do right things, and he always did wrong things and wrong deeds. And what happened due to that? Today was a date he was going to be crowned as a king, but instead of that, he got a small loot and he's thinking he's a very rich person today. So that's how the destiny has been changed of both the people due to the Kriyaman karma. So that's why it is very important for us to do a good Kriyaman karma. And when we have a Sadguru, he actually protect us from lot of bad things. Means, the karmas can get mild. Whatever the fruits we are going to get can get mild. For example, if there is a 1 kg brick going to fall on our head, what will happen if we are doing all the good Kriyaman karmas? Sadguru will help us, and there will be a 1 kg thing falling on our head, but maybe it will be like a 1 kilo cotton falling on our head. So that's how our life will change when we are doing all the good karmas in the Kriyaman time. The concept actually of the karmas is very simple to understand. In our old days, if you have seen farming, I don't know how many of you are farmer, but in the old days, if you see, there used to be a big vessel they used to build in the farms, and what the farmer used to do is whatever crop will come, they will actually keep some grain for themselves to eat. But now, to put inside that vessel, it used to be a tall vessel. So there used to be a ladder to climb up that vessel. And then they used to go on the top, open the lid, and they used to put that grains. But that grain used to come down, and every time the different crop comes, they used to put this grain from the top. But whenever they needed to take out that grain to eat, now they can't go on the top to take it out. They used to open the lid from the bottom, and then they used to take the grain from the bottom. So similarly, the our life or the karmas work like that. Whatever we have done previously actually is coming out now. So when we see the life of each other or the people around us, and we start guessing that how that bad guy is enjoying or how the good guy is suffering, we surely don't know what that person has put before. So we always must keep putting our good karmas, and that's how we'll always get a good body due to that. Now there are many types of body we see around. The action performed consciously are weighted more heavily than those done unconsciously. And on the basis, some believe that only human beings who can distinguish right from wrong can do the Kriyaman karma. Therefore, the animals and the young children, they are considered as incapable of creating new karma, and thus cannot affect their future destinies. As they are incapable of discriminating between right and wrong, this view is explained by the concept of karma deha, that is called as the action body we know, and then the bhog deha. So we know there is a difference between the animals and us. Animals only have a bhog deha. They only can do bhog. They sleep, they eat, they reproduce, and they get scared. And obviously, we being having a karma deha, the action body, we do that four things. But along with that, we can meditate, we can do bhajan, we can pray to Sadguru, and we can get moksha, we can get salvation. That is what actually is happens because of this body we have, and that's how it's very important that we utilize. So you need to tell me the timings. Someone can tell me if it is okay to continue or how much of time I do have.
Yeah, you can continue for next 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, sure. So because of this pandemic, actually, we are discussing about the about the karmas and trying to understand on the point of Vihangam Yoga. So Swamiji also explains about the condition of soul. Then he says, "Janma maran ka yoni hai, मूल कारण संसार, सर्व सृष्टि प्राणी बंधे, यह तत्व कर्म सार." So a soul which is tied in the chain of karma is trapped into the cycle of life and death and faces tremendous trouble. Then what is the condition of soul? He explains in Swarved. He tells us that जीवन बंधन के लिए कर्म बेड़ी दृढ़ जान कर्म कोट में जीव गिरा बंधन कर्म महान. Then he also explains about the three bondings of the soul, why the soul is, how the soul is bonded with. So that is what he calls a granthi in Swarved. कर्मन की अज्ञान की जड़ चेतन की ग्रंथि बंधन में सब जीव है तीन प्रकार की ग्रंथि. So Swamiji says that the first binding is that of ignorance, then the second is of the inert and conscious entities, and the third is of karmas. Then he also explains about the higher level of karma. And what I want to tell you, this is one of the beauty of Vihangam Yoga, which you will not see in any other organization or in any other parts of the religious or spiritual organizations. Swamiji explains, कर्म ही आवागमन है यहाँ वहाँ दो ठाम गुप्त प्रकट दो कर्म है कर्म योग बहुधाम. So Swamiji explained in Swarveda, very important thing is karma performed in between earth and universe. Further, there is a secret and visible karmas which are real, which only a real saint will know. So this is when you actually meditate Vihangam Yoga, you will know the importance and the secrets of Vihangam Yoga when you practice it. So Swamiji also says, if you are a Vihangam yogi, you don't have to worry for anything. He says that ज्ञानी शाप न लागई विघ्न न बाधक होए मोह शोक न हिताही को कर्म न बंधन होए. So Swamiji says that Vihangam yogi does not get affected by any curse, neither by any hurdles. He is not tied by the body organs or sense organs. He do not have any obsession or sadness towards the materialistic world. He is a far away from good and bad karma and always enjoying the absolute bliss. Then Swamiji is obviously explaining the karma bheda also, and that is also very important for us to understand. Swamiji says that कर्म अकर्म विकर्म है तीन भेद है कर्म फिर सकाम निष्काम है कठिन ज्ञान सत्कर्म. So karma, akarma, vikarma, sakam and nishkam, these are the karma bhedas. So what is akarma is, after God realization, the consciousness of soul, the surati becomes nirati and stays with the supreme continuously. And that time it is not a karma, and that's how it is called as a akarma. Akarma generally can be only done or performed by Jivan Mukta Yogi, as he has neither importance of physical body. He performs all his actions in a pure form only. So that is the akarma. Then Swamiji explains about vikarma. Now this is also the big difference. A lot of people misinterpret vikarma actually. They say vikarma is a bad karma. So it is very incorrect. By performing actually this karma, human being becomes eligible to serve Sadguru and tries his best efforts for God realization. So vikarma means a vishesh, special karma, and not a bad karma. And by performing this karma, soul can be liberated from the cycle of life and death. And only a true Vihangam yogi knows about it. And then obviously we know about Sakam and Nishkam karma, that the karma which are done with any desire or fruit is known as a Sakam karma, and exactly opposite of that is a Nishkam karma. And obviously a lot of people, they also try to understand, like when we do all this karma, which is one of the highest karma, and we all know the highest karma is doing havan, and that's why you see in Vihangam Yoga a lot of people are performing havan, and Swamiji himself also does regular havans, and we also have mass havans. So it is said that yagyo was sreshtatam karma. So in all the karmas what we perform, yagya is one of the highest karma. So we must live our life, we must surrender to the Sadguru, and we must live our life in his feet. But a lot of people also always have a question that if we can do rituals, the anushtans, the karmakand, and can we have a God realization? So Swamiji also explains in Swarved that mukti ईश की प्राप्ति जो कर्मन से नहीं होए, कर्म करे फिर तन धरे भोग विविध विधि सोए. So Sadhguru says that we cannot have or we cannot achieve God realization or get liberation by karma. In fact, if you do karma rituals, you get again birth, and the life cycles goes on as your karmas increase. And that's how the importance of Sadhguru comes. And maybe you have already many satsangs about importance of Sadhguru and how he's been there, the eternal Sadhguru, the energy, and which has been guiding to the souls and giving liberations. And then obviously the present Sadhguru is the main who is going to give you the liberation or salvation. And the role of Vihangam Yoga, where it comes about the law of karma, which is very important. No other person or no other scripture explains this. Swamiji says that Brahma Vidya chingi udi lagi karma ghar aag, karma vasana jar gayi, chetana chetana jag. So Sadhguru says that when the glow of Brahma Vidya or the fire of Brahma Vidya emerges, when the light spreads, the moment it annihilates the storehouse of karma. So all the karmas actually that time start getting destroyed. And then he says that Sanchita bija vinasha se ankur srishti na hoy, chetan karma swabhav se bhakti vimala sukha soy. He says that once that destroyed, the seed does not get germinate, it does not sprout. What destroys the seed of karmas now? That is very important. It is Brahma Vidya what destroyed the seed itself. The seed of karma itself is wiped out because even good deeds bear fruits come cause of fetus. So what Swamiji is trying to say that when actually you practice the Brahma Vidya and you reach to the certain stage of sadhana, Brahma Vidya itself will destroy the seed of the Sanchit Bij, and that's how we'll get the liberation from this life. So this is all about I want to discuss, today because of this pandemic going around, and obviously you guys always have a regular satsang and about the Vihangam Yoga. So I think I have shared some experience and also discussed about some about law of karma. So if you have any questions or you can proceed ahead with your regular satsang. And at the end, I just want to thank again, to the Sadguru Devs, Sri Swatantra Devji Maharaj, Sri Sant Pravar Sri Vigyan Devji Maharaj, and Sant Sri Namdevji Maharaj, who keeps us always inspired and will be always surrender to them. And to all the US Sant Samaj for giving me this time. Once again, thank you very much. बोलिए सदगुरुदेव भगवान की जय.
Thank you very much, Amit ji, for sharing your experience and explaining us the law of karma, its type, and how karma impact our present life, the reincarnation, and also sharing the concept of Vihangam Yoga. Thank you very much for this explanation. We have definitely so many questions from people who joined the session today, and the questions are, if I try to divide, these questions are in two part. The first part is related to Sansmaran of your life, and second part have a few spiritual questions. So let's start the Q&A session, and I would like to put the first question, which is related to the Sansmaran part. And this question came from Lalmani ji, and he want to know that how did your family join Vihangam Yoga? Uh, Please share some Sansmaran of that time. Over to you, Amit ji.
Okay. Thank you. Is my mic open?
Yes, yes, your mic is open.
Okay. Actually, we were very fortunate, and this is very interesting question what Lalmaniji has asked. As Vijayji was explaining, there is a lot of history behind the family, and the main person how we got connected to Vihangam Yoga was Sri Vishwanath Patil ji. And actually, if I speak only about him and how we got connected, there are a lot of stories. When he was a youngster, actually, he was a like he used to tell me like when he was 12, 13 years old boy. From that time, he was actually very spiritually inclined. In his family, most of the people they were actually Warkaris. If you know the Warkari Sampradaya in Maharashtra, in Marathi culture, those who go to the Vitthal, they travel from various cities to the Pandharpur. So they had a spiritual or religious background, but yet he was more spiritually inclined, and he was actually looking for the Guru. And Patilji's life was very, very amazing. In fact, amazing than what I spoke today on this law of karma and all. He left house many times, and he stayed even in Himalayas. I want to tell you that even Patilji stayed with Shivananda Divine Life that time. He stayed with Swami Shivananda also, and he was in fact going to be they call it sannyasi. So like that, he stayed with many gurus, and he actually stayed in forest also. So at the last time when he was searching, because he used to always go and try to search a Sadguru, because he always wanted the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, or he didn't know it was called as Brahma Vidya, but obviously he wanted a knowledge of self realization and God realization. And a lot of gurus were unsuccessful to satisfy him, because he used to ask them like, if you tell me these certain things, I will 100% dedicatedly follow that, and I will do that, but will I get the result what I'm asking you? And then they used to say no. So then he used to leave them. Like that, he even left divine life also, because being sannyasi, there were people those who were there from 30, 40 years, they said there are no results, or they have not experienced anything spiritually. So finally, he came, back to Nasik, Devpur, his village, and one day he went into the forest of Kasara. Now also there is a lot of forest there from Mumbai to Nasik when you come by train. It's a dense forest. So he went there, and he started meditating there, sitting. He didn't know what to do, but he was sitting there. And then after some time, he got hungry actually. So then he thought, what is going to happen? Like, I left everything, I came here, but I'm getting hungry. I'm looking for food, and how's these things are happening? How I'm going to get God realization? He started thinking about that, and then he slept there. After some time, actually, when someone woke him up, and there was actually, a guy with his sheep there who was grazing his sheep, and he came to young Patilji there, and then he woke him up and he said, young boy, what are you doing here? This is not a safe place, this is a forest, and you are alone here. There are, very wild animals, and your life can be in danger. So he said, look, I'm here in search of the Guru, and I want to get a Guru who can give me this knowledge of, the self realization and God realization. So the guy who was grazing the goats, he said, look, you go back home, you don't have to worry. The Guru will find you, and you will get this knowledge, what you are looking for. And then he gave him food also. So when Patilji actually, he actually agreed, because he thought that it was some divine message, and then he must go back, because that was not a real good solution. So he actually came up, climbing the mountain, and then there was a train standing there, going from Kasara to Nasik. But now he didn't had any money, because Patilji was always like that. He was like a real fakir. He was a real yogi. He never used to worry for anything at that time. So obviously he didn't had any money, and then he just climbed that train from Kasara. So when he get down to Nasik railway station, obviously there was a ticket checker, and he was looking for the tickets. So now he got worried. but now he started walking towards the gate to come out of the railway station at that time. And then there was one man who passed through him, and he gave a ticket in his hand, and he just walked away. So when he came to uh, the gate, the TC was standing there, and he actually asked for the ticket. And obviously, Patilji had a ticket; he didn't know who gave him. And he came out. When he came out, he saw there was a tanga. That time there was to be, the horse cart. So that guy knew Patilji. He was from the Nasik city, and he said he's going that way, and he dropped Patilji home. So that was quite interesting. Like this, few incident happened, and then when Patilji was in Pune, that time there was an army guy who was a disciple of Bade Swamiji. He was reading Swamiji's scripture that time, and Patilji was actually working in a mess. He used to also, work, and he was studying that time. And I forgot the name. I think it was he was an army man. I'm not sure it was Anubhavanand or something. Uh, he actually then started linking Patilji with Vihangam Yoga, and that's how, that time Sadafal Devji Maharaj was there. And when Sadafal Devji Maharaj in fact used to travel to Mumbai by train, and when he used to pass from Nasik, he used to say that uh, one of my Hans stays here. My divine soul, he stays here in Nasik. And then due to that army person, actually, Patilji got connected to Vihangam Yoga, and via the letter so by Sadafal Devji Maharaj, Patilji got the first step Updesh actually. That time Swamiji used to give Updesh by letter also. So he was very fortunate, and that's how our family got connected with Vihangam Yoga.
Ji, thank you very much, Amit ji, for sharing the story that how your family get connected to Vihangam Yoga. And Lalmani ji also want to know that how you got connected to Vihangam Yoga. Is it like from the childhood, as you saw your family is doing meditation in Vihangam Yoga and you get inspired, or is there any sansmaran behind your uh, come in Vihangam Yoga as well?
Yeah. I think I was very fortunate coming into the Vihangam Yoga. There are, I think, few aspects of that. One, Swamiji himself always, whenever I'm in Seva, even now when I was in Calcutta, he reminds me that I was actually initiated when my mom was pregnant. When I was in that's what he says. My mom was initiated for one of the stage of Vihangam Yoga, and he says that he actually Sadguru himself always tells me that you were initiated in the So I feel that was his greatness, that like how Abhimanyu actually got the knowledge by Krishna. Similarly, I was very fortunate that I was initiated in the itself. And also, maybe it's a soul which has done some Vihangam yoga sadhana in previous life. I believe maybe that's how I got the family, which is surrendered to the Swamiji, and everyone in the family is very very surrendered. If you see Sri Yogesh Patil ji, Vivek Patil ji, and Santosh Patil ji, they are doing very hard seva of Sadguru. And obviously Vishwanath Patil ji was one of my best inspiration to get with Vihangam yoga. And he actually groomed me a lot. Actually, I spent a lot of time with Vishwanath Patil ji, and obviously Vivek Mama was also one of my inspiration, because he used to always stay in Swamiji's seva. So when I went in Swamiji's seva, actually that's time my life started changing. Before that, maybe I really didn't understood what Vihangam yoga was, but when I did the seva, and then I started getting more interested into that. And as a youngster, I didn't believe like if you are in Vihangam yoga, you must only practice that. I also went to the Ashtanga yoga side, and I actually practiced Ashtanga yoga also to understand what it is. But then while studying that, I was doing I gave a lot of higher exams also into that. And then I myself also realized that how Vihangam yoga is important. And the best part was, if I tell you, my dad, he's actually, doctorate into the literature. And when he did his PhD, he did his PhD on one of the saint in Rajasthan, Sant Sevadas Niranjani, and who was also following Sadguru Kabir. So in his PhD also, without knowing Sadguru, he wrote that the Vihangam path is one of the highest path for moksha. So from my father's side also, maybe he's an intellectual. He's not doing much sadhana and all, but he has done a lot of intellectual contribution to Vihangam yoga. Recently, I think he has done more than 15 or 20 books in Marathi. He helped Patilji also to proofreading and all that for the Swarved when he was doing it Marathi, and then obviously he has now done all the Vedic for Brahma Vidya Bhashya in Marathi, then Bal Shiksha. So I feel it is like from the both sides, from my father and from my mother. She's also like the sadhak of Vihangam yoga. So all these things, it gives you the family environment. But also on other side, like if you see, like the example of Ravan now, Ravan, Bibhishan, Kumbhakarna, they all were in one family, but they all have different behaviors, and everyone was different. So I'm not saying like because only in the family, it's also Sadguru. I've seen there are many souls, those who don't have any family background, or those families are not there. They have came and they are doing excellent meditation. So I feel that my coming in Vihangam yoga is Sadguru's choice and not my choice.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Amit ji. And it's really very interesting to know this part that how you came to Vihangam Yoga. And as you said that Swamiji mentioned you several times uh, that your initiation has been done when you were in your mother's womb. And as you said, uh, this may be because of your karma of previous birth. And with this, I want to come for the next set of questions. Uh, and this question is being asked by Sanjana ji, and we want to know about this reincarnation and karma. And her question is, uh, I have read in Curious that some people can recollect their past life when they are hypnotized by some specialist. Do you think this is possible? Over to you, Amiji.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you very much. Um, Her question is actually very interesting, and she's very much maybe right because we didn't discuss a lot of things today, but we have four inner elements. We have man, buddhi, chitta, and ahankar. So now, if we think about the chitta, chitta is like a huge storage. It's like a hard drive. We think like a mobile or laptop, which has a hard drive, and then we also have a processor, which is like a buddhi, simply to understand. Now, in that hard drive, we have so many files. Similarly, in our chitta, everything is stored in our chitta. So that's how, even when you sleep, you don't have to go to a person who hypnotize you. If you are sleeping and you are in a dreaming phase, now you see so many things there which you have not seen in this life, or you have not seen into any TV program or in movie, or you are not read it, you are not seen anywhere in the book or newspaper. But then when you are dreaming, actually you see so many things, uh, and you actually experience certain things into the dreaming phase. And actually that is also like coming out from the chitta. The mind opens all these files, the memories, and then you go through it. So when you do hypnotize, actually at that time it is also possible the files from the chittas, maybe the mind, the soul gets connect to that, and then you can actually go through your past life. That is possible. but I have not gone through such kind of experience personally. So it will be difficult, to say, if someone hypnotize you, one need to actually also go through that process to understand.
Ji, thank you. Thank you very much for this explanation. There is one more question from Rashmi ji, and that is also related to chitta and mind both. So,
Yes.
as we read in so many Vedas, it's also mentioned that yogasya chitta vritti nirodha. So,
Correct.
so she want to know that how to please our chitta. It means how to make it like only good things come out from it, and can we make friend of our mind as well? That's what her question is. Over to you, Amit.
Yeah. I think very, very interesting and most complicated question because, if you see Patanjali Rishi or Ashtanga Yoga, it starts with the first sloka, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Now, the vrittis which are rising from the chitta, to do the nirodha of that is a yoga. That's what Patanjali Rishi says. But obviously, if you study the Patanjali Rishi or the scriptures written by him, unfortunately, it ends up to one stage before of Vyangam Yoga. He never explains about the Hans Avastha into that. So I'm just explaining additional to the question asked by Rashmiji actually. And when he's talking about that, obviously in Vihangam Yoga, it is more into the detail. I feel like if we are doing a regular sadhana, the meditation as it increase, the benefits of meditation we all are aware of. Our mind gets stable, and that is one of the most important thing. If our mind is stable, then with that stability, our chitta also means what mind is doing is how it is getting unstable is these vrittis which are actually coming rising up and down continuously. So when our mind chitta, these all are interconnected and these are all connected to the soul. So if we are actually doing a regular meditation, I feel like that will also impact on our soul and also our chitta, and surely we will have some stabilization. And obviously, as I was explaining, because if you are in the good path and you are always thinking good, doing good, the your kriyaman karma also it changes a lot. Like just think, from your childhood you are always reading good things, so that is creating a good impression. With your recent memories also and your previous memories also. So that is also going into your chitta, and whatever you are doing good is obviously bouncing back continuously. And along with that, when you have the sadhana with that and you are doing this meditation, that will also impact, and your chitta also will reflect the positive things, and you will have a lot of stability. And then you will experience that when you are taking decisions or when you are talking to someone, you will feel that stability, you will feel that peace, inner peace coming from you. So anything else also she was asking?
Uh, no, the second part was how we can uh, make mind our friend.
Oh, yes, correct. I think that is one of the biggest thing, because Manu Jite to Jag Jita. It has been said that if we win our mind, we can win the world. And this entire game is of mind, because mind is also like one of the biggest, what we can say, cause of this thing of life and death, the cycle recycles we are going through. And surely we can make the mind friend. Maybe we can stabilize it. And obviously, our sadhana has to be very deep, and then also Sadguru's blessings, because you can do a first level sadhana also and Sadguru can take you to the ultimate. But generally when we are in the fourth step of meditation, because all of us we know our mind and our breath comes from the the cosmic executor or from the Akshar Brahma. So that's why it is always unstable. But being unstable, it doesn't mean like part of vibration. It can be negative also. Being part of Vihangam yoga, yes, it can be on your side, and in fact you can utilize it. If you can utilize it as your friend, you can achieve a lot of big things in your life, which is impossible for general people.
Ji. Thank you very much, Amit ji. Uh, the next question is from Maya ji, and this is also related to mind. And she want to, so actually she asked two, three questions, and I want to jumble all these questions together. So she want to know that how mind looks like. I mean, is it has a color or sound? And the other part of her question is, like some child born without eyesight, some child cannot hear from birth. Is it also possible that a person born without mind? And the last part of her question is, which is more powerful, mind or intellect? Over to you, Amitji.
Okay. Yeah, very, very interesting questions. Like I think everyone is asking the most critical questions. And surely, if you feel like Vijayji is also there, he can also join in and also reply. But I will try to explain as much as I can on my side. If I'm incorrect, also please correct me. First question is actually she was saying like how mind looks. So thing is that I am myself, I'm doing sadhana and I'm not reached up to the fourth level. So I can experience the mind, but I have not seen the mind. Like you can also experience if Mayaji, if I tell her now to go to, to the office or to the market nearby where she goes, her mind is going there. So we can experience the mind, but it will be very difficult to say like to see the mind. Mind, it can be experienced. And then the second question was, if the children can be born without mind. So I think that is highly impossible. People can be born with the defects, but not without the mind, because mind is the only object through which our souls get connected through the external world. Means mind and intellect are like, if we see a diagram of a car now, so somewhere people maybe say oppositely, but like the steering is like a intellect and the driver is like a mind and the soul is like a owner which is sitting behind. So the soul is the owner of this body, but the body will not go anywhere, the body will not do anything if the mind and intellect are not there, if the driver and the steering is not there. So all the wheels or the parts of the car, which are like the sense organs and the working organs, uh, the car will not move anywhere. So it is very important to have that, and that's how the God has structured this body. So any child which is born has to have the mind with that. And the third question was about the color of mind. I'm very much sure means because mind is a part of experience. Uh, I have not gone through across anything which actually says that or anyone has experienced the color of mind.
Ji. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Amitji, for explaining this question about mind and can a child born without a mind? Uh, I would like to go with the last question of today's session, and that is, how do I know if I have connected myself with Vihangam Yoga? Over to you, Amitji.
Okay, I think that is most hardest question of this session or ever someone has asked, because it is different with every person. That's what I feel. If you ask about me, I can explain you like 24 hours. My mind is always with Sadhguru, means I always think about it. And then also, always, whatever I do, my actions are related to Vihangam Yoga. Obviously, there is a lot of, work which I do in office or also in my social life and all. But thing is that in maybe behind back of your mind continuously there is a thought process which is linked with Vihangam yoga. So that is what my experience is. But for everyone it can be different, and Sadhguru takes different seva from everyone. So someone maybe who is doing some physical seva with Sadhguru and he has a surrenderness can be also like 100% linked with Vihangam yoga. Someone maybe is doing some small part but is doing regularly is also connected with Vihangam yoga. So for me, I will say like not only doing sadhana. Obviously, sadhana is the most important part, and Sadafal Devji Maharaj has said that if you don't do the practice, he cannot take us to the ultimate. But that is one part. But if you are connected with Vihangam yoga or not, that will only tell you if how much dedication is there of yours towards the organization and to Sadguru, and how much time you are giving. Maybe sometimes you fail to do the sadhana, but if you are doing something continuously to the organization, maybe you are sending one doha to someone, or you are writing some articles, or you are giving discourse to someone. Like I have met some people, those who say, okay, every day I will at least give one satsang to someone, and that is also like he is now dedicated to Vihangam yoga. So it's your choice. I feel there are so much of options you have, and but I will feel like when you start doing anything what you have chosen and you start doing it regularly, I feel you are connected to the Vyangam yoga.
Thank you very much, Amit ji, for answering these questions and sharing so many sansmaran and also explaining the law of karma in today's session. Uh, we are really very fortunate, and I believe everyone who have joined today's session has learned so much from your explanation and get so much motivation from the sansmarans what you shared today. So before proceeding to the end of this session, I would like to invite Niranjan ji to thank our chief guest, prime speaker, Sri Amit More ji, to come in our session and share his experience. Over to you, Niranjan ji.
Jai Sagudev, everyone. We are fortunate today. We are fortunate today that we are hearing Sri Amit Shivaji Moreji. It is very difficult for me to say anything about him because he explaining about karma in a so delicate and very easy way. Like he said too many things about the karma. Karma is not what happens to us, but how we respond to what happens to us. This is what he explained, right? He is such a person. He is what inside, he is the same outside. He's a great leader that we know, right? He possesses the power of kindness. To become a great leader, we know, we everybody know that we have to have our control mind. Then only our actions will be as per our ways. This is what he does. He always says like ग्रहण करो गुण जगत से अवगुण देख न कोय अवगुण देखो आप में त्याग यतन कर सोए. He never says that he is bad, that is bad. He never. He lives in such a country and around the people who is full of negativity. But he never solves that. He says, like, within the negativity, I have to create the positivity. That's what the power of Amit Shivaji Mori is. And we are really fortunate to hear him today. Jai Sagudev. Thank you so much, Amit ji.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Niranjan ji. And thanks a lot, Amit More ji, for sharing your experience and make this session so much inspiring and So much learning content in today's session for every one of us who joined the today's session. Now, as we reach to the last phase of today's satsang, where we will end the session with the Shanti part. In Shanti part, we chant for peace for everyone who exists in this universe. May Lord Sadgurudev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I would like to invite Prachi Premsagarji to recite last few lines of Shanti Path. Over to you, Prachi.
Thank you, Sudhanshu ji. Jai Sadgurudev to everybody. Shanti Pat. हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांतिमय शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांतिमय शांति। हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व अशांति, देव सदा फल शांतिमय, शांति शांति सुख शांति। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय। बैक टू यू सुधांशु जी।
Thanks a lot, Prachi for reciting last few lines of Shanti Path. Now we have reached to the last phase of today's session, and we are very thankful to our chief guest, Sri Amit More Ji, that he shared his experiences, his Sansmaran of Vihangam Yoga, that how his family came into Vihangam Yoga, how he came into Vihangam Yoga. He also shared the importance of seva. He shared the law of karma as per Vihangam Yoga. He also explained that how this law of karma brings the reincarnation into the picture and how this reincarnation justifies the law of karma. He also explained the question of so many people who joined today's session. He explained about chitta, he explained about mind, and he also shares so many sansmarans. I believe we all are very fortunate that we got an opportunity to know all these things, all different topics in one session. I would like to thank our chief guest and I would like to thanks to all of you who joined today's session. Next weekend, again, we will have our session on Saturday and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we will have some other chief guests on those sessions where we will discuss about their experiences and we will also discuss any spiritual questions which you all want to ask. Till then, have a wonderful day to all of you. Jai Shri Gurudev.